বলতে শুরু করবে। মিউট করা আছে?
Hari Om to everyone else. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Om Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vighnopashantaye. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishwotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Numaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavitvaram. Yesterday we stopped in Sutra number 24. And there we saw that is nothing but the reflection of that famous sloka of Pandava Gita. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva. Tvameva vidyam dravinam tvameva. Tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. So we have to take support of any bhava, any idea, any relationship, what is most sensitive to me. Like God is my mother, or my father, or my best friend, or my son, or my daughter, or as my beloved, or vice versa. What if I love my mother the most? If I love my father the most, if I love my children the most, if I love my boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife or any belonging, impose godlyhood into them. So both way, you can consider the God as your mother, father, son, daughter, any belonging, best friend, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, anything else, or impose godlyhood to that relationship. So that is the impact of that sloka. Tvameva mata chapita tvameva. Tvameva bandhu. Bandhuhu cha sakha tvameva. Tameva vidya. Vidya is knowledge. That my knowledge is nothing but you. Dravinam tvame. Tameva mata means you are alone my mother. Or my mother is nothing but that supreme God. The expression or manifestation. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Tvameva mama pita. You are you alone my father, or my father is nothing but the expression of that Supreme Lord. Tvameva bandhush or bandhuhu cha sakha tvameva. You are not only my friend, you are my best friend. Or my best friend is not only my best friend, my beloved God has taken the form of my best friend to guide me. Tvameva vidyam. What about the knowledge I acquire every day? That knowledge is you alone. Dravinam tvameva. Drabya. From Drabya, that Dravinam has come. Drabya means substance. The very substance of everything else is you alone. Or you alone has expressed as the whole universe. By our superimposition, by of our ignorance, we are trapped into the names and forms. By the influence of our ignorance, we have forgotten to see the substratum behind all the names and forms. The golden bangles, golden earring, golden ring, golden, what is necklace? We are mesmerized with the name and the forms. But who are actually the goldsmith? He or she sees only the gold behind and the quality of the gold behind all the ornaments. So here, up to that, we saw till 24th sutra that how we will look after it. And up to that, if we break that text, it will be broken into three parts. First 6 sutras give the definition and the utility of importance of bhakti or supreme love. First 6 sutras. Then next 8 sutras has described that to reach into that point, to get that sort of love inside, we have to sacrifice our everything else, all other desires, everything else, everyone else, we have to sacrifice. Otherwise, that the extreme point of extreme love is not reachable. And last 10 sutras has told what other teachers of bhakti school, the school of devotion, they have narrated about devotion. They have narrated about devotion and the utility and the purpose of bhakti. So, a lot of ways are there to gain this bhakti, to reach in that bhakti or supreme thing. Forget about bhakti. So we can divide the path into 4 ways. Though the serial number is not that jnana karma bhakti yoga, it is not the serial, but likewise yoga karma bhakti jnanam. Someone says karma yoga bhakti jnanam. Some acharya says karma yoga jnanam and afterwards bhakti. See, there is no difference between bhakti, the extreme love, and extreme knowledge. It is our superimposition that we discriminate it, we divide it. So, when any acharya teaches or expounds Bhakti Sutra, he tells Bhakti is greater than knowledge. And when that same acharya expounds the sutras of knowledge, jnanam, then they show the superiority of knowledge. I have heard that when Udiya Baba or Akhandanandaji, Swami Akhandanandaji, he was called for any talk. So he used to tell always कि आज भगवान को खंडन करना है या उठाना है, ऐसे करके बोलते थे, क्या आज खंडन करना है या मर्दन करना है? तो कोई बोलते थे आज खंडन करना है, तो बोला तब तो मंदिर में नहीं होगा, because sitting on the temple of Lord, you will never find any Advaita non-dual philosophy is described inside the temple. You will never find. Because in extreme non-dual philosophy, they negate everything else, even the God alone. So, in our Sandipani also, we have seen our Pujya Gurudev also. used to take all Upanishad class in Saraswati Nilayam. And other bhakti texts he used to take in the temple. So that should be but the same person. For him, there is no conflict. But people will misunderstand something else, that sitting on the Jagadishwara temple and discarding the existence of Jagadishwara, how is it possible? So there is no actually difference in the highest level. Some of our acharyas, I heard that it is like, our political situation. All the opposition parties, big leaders, they have no difference. They are friends. They take their dinner together, lunch together. But their followers, they fight and they die and they kill. So likewise, in the extreme level, there is no conflict between jnana and bhakti. Only in the lower level, when we can't reach to that point, that conflicts are there. So, karma marga, the path of actionless action, verb without an action. Karma path, we can say actionless action. I will explain it. Another is yoga marga. Yoga marga is basically based on lifestyle, Ashtanga Yoga Marga, Yam Niyam, all those things, Ashanam, Pranam, Pratyahar, Samadhi, like that. So, that is Yoga Marga. Another is Jnana Marga, the path of discrimination, constant vichar, and the Bhakti Marga, the path of bhakti or love, what we are discussing. So, we will tell first Sutra number 25. Satu karma jnana yogebhyah apyadhikatara. If I split it, Satu karma jnana yogebhyah api adhikatara. I will expound it. Sa means that bhakti. Here, this is the beauty of Sanskrit language, that in English language we see that in noun and in pronoun we can discriminate gender wise. That if we say Rama, then that pronoun will be she. If there is Rama, the pronoun will be he. Here, noun wise pronoun becomes masculine or feminine, but adjective also we use in Sanskrit according to noun and pronoun. That is why adhikatara, because bhakti is strilinga. That is why adhikatara shrestha, far far better. If it was punglinga, it was adhikatara. Now karma jnana yoga, Acharya has taken it one word. This is called samastapadi or samasa. So that is why karma jnana yoga is one word. Then it has taken panchami bahuvachana. Karma jnana yogat, karma jnana yogabhyam, karma jnana yogekbhyah. From anything else, than anything else, when we will do compare anything else, we use here in panchami, apadane panchami. So here Acharya has wanted to establish the superiority of bhakti, the path of love, than the path of action, path of yoga, and path of jnanam. Okay. Why? Sutra number 26 is telling phalarupatvat, phalarupatvat. So sutra number 26 is phalarupatvat, because bhakti is phalarupa. I will come. There is a lot of things to be told in that particular word phalarupa. So the thing is, bhakti or the path of love is not only the means, it is the destination also. So bhakti is not only the path, bhakti is destination too. And for novice who is starting his spiritual journey, for him bhakti is the best way, and that is called Vaidhi Bhakti. What is Vaidhi Bhakti? Now, bhakti or love should not be according to our will, because a lot of person you will get in your life who tells that if Lord is my parents, Lord is my mother and father, why should I listen to Shastra or scripture? Why should I listen to Guru? When I call my mother or father, do I require any external element or external person? That how should I call them? Excuses are always ready. So the thing is, Vaidhi Bhakti means what is told into the Shastra to get that love inside. And another is Parama Bhakti or Parama Prema Rupa. We got one sutra, Parama Prema Rupa, that the supreme thing is the destination, and Vaidhi Bhakti, that ritual based, rules based, do's and don't based love, the path, are the means And that supreme love, the extreme pure love, is the destination. Now question, why it is not told that phala, means why it is not tell result, why it is telling phala rupatvat. Phala rupa means parakashtha of bhakti, the substratum, the very substratum of that bhakti. Some questions were asked that why it is not told that this is the fruit, this is the result, the extreme result. The answer is bhakti is not the product of anything else. That is why it has not told phala. It has told phala rupa. Because, we get a lot of things, utpadyam, apyam, praptam, a lot of things which is produced. But bhakti is not produced by anything else. Because the famous sloka, najayate mriyate va kadachit. We will take only this part. We will not cover the full sloka. Why? Here Bhagavan mentioned na jayate na mriyate. 6 modifications are there in our life. Jayate, asti, vardhate, viparinamate, apakshiyate and mriyate. So what borns out of something? What is the product of something else? Jayate. Then asti, it stays. Vardhate, it increases. Apakshiyate, it starts decaying. Viparinamate, the graph becomes declined. Then mriyate, it gets finished. So what is the utpanna vastu? What is produced by something else that will be finished, that has to be finished. But in previous sutras we have seen that bhakti, there is no decay, no abolition of bhakti, no dying of bhakti. Bhakti is an imperishable, immortal things. So which is immortal means what has no birth, no death. Which has taken birth, that will die, like our body. It is Swayam Sadhya. Bhakti is Swayam Sadhya. Self-effulgent, Swayam Prakasha. Like, if God or Ishvara, I will always use that word Ishvara because God is not the proper translation of Ishvara. Because Ishvara means Ishitritva is there. In God, all such things are not there. But there is no other translation. So we have to take it, the word, take it for granted that God. So God or Ishvara is Nitya. So to love God is always eternal. Got the logic? If ईश्वर नित्य है तो उनके प्रति प्रेम भी तो नित्य ही होगा. Now, after doing a lot of penance or spiritual practice or singing, if our mind becomes purified, then all the hindrances of bhakti goes away. And then the love for Ishvara increases. Now, karma jnana bhakti, karma jnana yoga is inferior than bhakti. The other acharyas are telling like that. So, what is that? Like karma. So, the thing is, like jnanam is not a production of any tapasya. Likewise, bhakti also not done. Once, Swami Turiyanandaji, ancient Turiyanandaji, he was a Vedantin, staunch follower of Vedanta, and he used to do meditation and a lot of tapasya. So then his disciple asked him, what you got after tapasya, after doing so much penance? Swami Turiyanandaji told that this is my realization, तपस्या की द्वारा भगवान नहीं मिल सकता. The supreme reality, supreme truth cannot be reached by doing any penance. What does it mean? Means truth is not the result of something else. Supreme reality is not the result of something else. Now the thing is, karma yoga. Why karma? Now I am coming step by step. What is karma? If we take the meaning, we will find karma is action, doing anything else. But in Adhyatma Shastra, in the spiritual science, karma is actionless action. कर्म शुद्ध भी नहीं है, अशुद्ध भी नहीं. Karma is not pure. Karma is not impure. Karma is like catalyst. Do you know catalyst? It is used in any reaction in chemical laboratory. So sometimes it increases the rate of reaction or it decreases the rate of reaction, but it never takes part into any reaction. Karma is like that. And chittasya shuddhaye karma. Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Why we will do karma? We will do karma to purify our mind. Now the question may come that all of our mind is impure. What do you mean by that? Then I may ask further question that what do you think of impurity? And I know you will be answerless. But here, Shastra has told what is Chitta Mala, the impurity of our mind is nothing but likes and dislikes. Likes and dislikes are the main impurity of our mind. From where that likes comes, that I don't like that work, I like these things. It comes because of the vasanas, impression in our mind, because of desire in our mind, because of hidden ego in our mind. So whenever we go to our Acharya first asks to do seva, means karma yoga. Not only for common, if anyone has studied Prashnopanishad, or if we ever get chance to study together about Prashnopanishad, there we will find 6 sages, old sages. They went to their Acharya for extreme knowledge. What Acharya told you, know, at least 1 year, do seva, do work of ashrama. Don't ask any question, don't utter any words from your mouth. Only Gurus knows, Acharya knows what is required for you. We like to do the thing what we like. We always try to avoid the work what we don't like. And we don't know that likings and dislikings are the main hindrance of gaining knowledge, gaining bhakti, and gaining yoga also, what I am going to tell. That is why karma yoga is the first option. Without utterance any word. And titiksha, sahanam sarva dukkhanam apratikara purvakam chinta vilaparahitam sa titiksha nigadyate. Doing everything else what we don't like, what we extremely hate to do, as my Acharya has told me to do, love it, accept it, do it with full heart and passion and compassion. That is karma yoga. In that way we can thrash and crush our ego. What is the main hindrance in the path of yoga, bhakti, and jnanam? In any Gurukul, even in Sandipani also, whoever else you are. In our batch, there was scientist of NASA. Acharya Seva is must. Washing the clothes of, he never washed his own clothes. But when he came to Gurukul, Acharya's washing clothes, cleaning Acharya's room, carpet, cleaning everything else, serving what his servants used to do. Karma yoga, karma yoga, karma yoga. Why? Chittasya shuddhaye karma. To purify our mind from likes and dislikes. To accept everything else with love and compassion, without any complaint in life. Without any complaint. Without any reaction, only response to any event. Only karma yoga prepares us as a sadhaka, as a real spiritual practitioner. But always remember, karma yoga is not our lakshya or aim. Suppose we got a lot of social worker, they do a lot of things. And when his obituary condolence party happens, that he was a karma yogi, he used to love to do karma. कर्म योग का उद्देश्य कर्मों को प्रेम करना नहीं, कर्म से मुक्त होना ही कर्म योग का लक्ष्य है. To love karma, to love doing anything else is not the aim of karma yoga. The aim of karma yoga is to be free from the bondage of any karma. Then yoga. What is yoga? Yogas chitta vritti nirodha. According to Patanjal Rishi, yoga chitta vritti nirodha. Restraining the mind, to make the mind cool and calm and straight, to make it tranquil, is the main purpose of yoga. Yoga has come from the root yuj. Yuj means to unite. To unite with whom? To unite with Purusha. I am telling about their philosophy, okay? And yoga is possible when perfect yoga is there. Subtraction. The same thing what Bhakti told. If you can subtract your all thoughts, all mental activities, your all indriyas, sense organs, body from Prakriti, then only yoga is possible. And see, the same thing Bhakti Shastra is telling. So there is no conflict in the higher state. Only the path is different. Yoga follows some physical exercises, pranayama, a strict, disciplined life. Asana, pranayama, pratyahara, then samadhi is there. And then the path of jnanam comes, jnanam and bhakti. There is no conflict. Someone says jnanam is the highest path. Someone says, no, bhakti or love is the highest thing. So that is stupid argument. The thing is, the highest Advaita or non-dual Acharya we got, Adi Shankaracharya ji. He established the path of non-dualism in the whole world. He is not the inventor of non-dual. Okay. अद्वैतवाद की प्रतिष्ठता उन्होंने नहीं, शंकराचार्य, ये गलत. यूनिवर्सिटी में यही पढ़ाया जाता है, शंकरवाद, शंकर फिलोसॉफी, मायावाद. नो नो नो. Advaita is still there in Upanishad. Maya is there in Upanishad. Shankara has just spreaded it, advertised this. So the thing is, but when our Sanatana Dharma is on the downstream, Shankara re-established it. So he was staunch Advaitavadi or non-dual philosopher. But if we see his works, we will find, do you know how he started his work? But by writing commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. Think, Vishnu Sahasranama is the basic grantha of Bhakti Shastra. And he wrote commentary on that, and he started his journey with writing commentary on Vishnu Sahasranama. And whatever we do puja, Guru Paduka Puja, Durga Puja, Lakshmi Puja, all such puja, he, he alone established. Panchopachar Puja, Dashopachar Puja, Shodosopachar Puja, Shankaracharya ji, Acharya Shankaracharya ji re-established it. He collected all such mantras and everything else from Puranas and compiled it with the Vedic mantras, because in Veda there is no concept of puja or worship. There was only yagnas. And in Purana there was Vaidhi Bhakti. So mantras were compiled over there. It is because of Acharya Shankara we get it. Who is the highest Acharya of non-dual philosophy? So this sort of question has no value that Jnanam Sreshta or Bhakti Sreshta. But when we will start teaching anything else, we have to stick a point that here we will expound that Bhakti is Sreshta. So we will give some example, like Bhagavan Sri Chaitanya is Parama Vaishnava. But I don't know how many of us know he was a sannyasi of Dasnami Sampradaya. Vishuddhananda Puri, maybe, was his guru, and he thoroughly studied all the Prasthanatraya, 10 Upanishads, and everything else. After that, he realized that because he was the part of the renaissance of love or bhakti, so he expounded bhakti in whole world or in all over the India. So we are finding that there is no conflict between any path. So I expound karma yoga, yoga means Raja Yoga. Then Jnana Yoga I will expound, you know all. Jnanam is the path of constant discrimination. Constant discrimination. This is called Nityanitya Vastu Vivekaha. Always discrimination between Nitya and Anitya. What is real and what is unreal? What is real and what is non-unreal? And the path of Neti, 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 not that, not that, not that, not that. And where we actually reach, where we see nothing as if though it is everything, so that is Brahman. So that is the path of Jnanam. Here is the first conflict with Jnanam and Bhakti. What is the conflict? Where the Jnanavadi or Jnani, the follower of Jnanam and knowledge, non-dual, they tell the whole world is mithya or unreal. Only Brahman is Satyam or only truth. You know, when Swami Turiyanandaji was dying, in his last breath, one of his favorite disciples, you know, disciples never leave their gurus. They always ask questions, 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 questions. So Turiyanandaji's disciple also asked him, please tell me last Upadesha. What is your realization? And what he told, you know, he told Brahma Satya, Jagat is also Satya. Just see. So the thing is, now I will describe this point in the eyes of bhakti. That when we have two standpoint, you know, one is absolute standpoint, another is transactional standpoint. So when absolute standpoint is there, that is the constant path of discrimination. Then the whole world is unreal. Jagat mithya, 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 neti, 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 neti. My body, mind, everything is mithya. But when we will do transaction, then it is satya, but not in worldly sense. Here we will merge Turiyanandaji's word and Bhakti Grantha. The whole world is the body of Lord. The whole world, external universe, is nothing but the expression of God, expression of Ishvara. In that sense, if Ishvara is Satya, then his expression is also Satya. So we will transact with the world thinking that we are transacting with Ishvara, not transacting with the world. That is the point. You have to pay attention here. Brahma Satya, Jagat Satya is the point of bhakti. But in what basis? Jagat Satya or world is Satya not with the point of world. The world is real then only when the world is nothing but the very body of the Lord alone. I think I could clear the, because you know, suppose you know all wood apple, bale, you consider it as Jagat. We eat the pulp of the wood apple. But when we go for purchasing wood apple, we never purchase the pulp. We purchase with the skin, wooden skin, seed, the glue inside. But at the time of taking, we break it and take out the pulp and eat it. So for bhakta, the whole world is like bale. everything. And for Jnani, he takes only the pulp. I think I could make you understand the impact of that sutra. If anyone has any question, you can ask. I hope you all have understood. Thank you. Thank you. So, if anyone has any question, please ask regarding this philosophical discussion or any philosophy or
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
You mentioned Raj Yoga. So what is this exactly Raj Yoga? Is it different from the other yogas?
No. The thing is, I don't know whether you have ever visited in any spiritual organization, very popular organization nowadays. I will not take the name of that institution, but
They advertise, yes. So I wanted to
advertise
understand.
Raja Yoga. Yes, here that is why I explained that word. Actually, yoga. This is the path of yoga, yoga marga. But Swami Vivekananda also used that terminology Raja Yoga. But nowadays, that very famous sister-based organization, they propagates that particular term Raja Yoga. Actually, this is the path of yoga.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other question? Okay. Then I will pranam. Then I will conclude. Om swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sukhino bhavantu kale varshatu parjanyah पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ॐ सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मामृतं गमय ॐ आविर्मयेधि ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ हरि ओम Ilam,
Pranam Swamiji.
you have a regret that you can't talk, you can't hear. You please talk. I have unmute you. You please tell something if you want to tell.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Hari
Pranam.
Om. Hari Om.
I can hear you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam.
Pranam Swamiji.
Pranam. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om. We will meet tomorrow at the same time.
Yes.
Hari Om,
Hari.
Hari Om.